Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the CEO of Your Life. It's me,
Yes,
Mike
love it.
Edos, and Spencer Jones coming at you live again. Today, we're going to talk about uh, so many of us, we focus on knowledge. We gain all this knowledge, but the problem is knowledge just becomes knowledge until you take action, until you apply it in your life. And I often see people, they they gain all this knowledge and they have all these different insights to help other people out, but they're still struggling with certain things in their life. So I just want to talk to Spencer today, talk about some of the insights that he's gained over the years and some of the things that he's learned and he's implemented in his life. So I know for me, throughout my life, I've learned a lot, like growing up and not believing in myself and going through my challenges in my life and learning the importance of personal development and expanding my mind and surrounding myself with positive mentors that help give me tips on what they've done to overcome their challenges. But for the longest time, I would always gain this knowledge and I would have very, very low confidence in order to implement it into my life. So what I did throughout a lot of my life is for years I would gain this knowledge and I really wouldn't implement it into my life. And I was like, all right, this is what I got to do. I just got to gain more knowledge and then it's just going to pay off one of these days. But the problem with this is I was losing a lot of self-trust in myself because I was gaining all this knowledge, but I really wasn't seeing any changes in my life. So, can you talk a little bit about that, Spencer? Some of the main insights that you've seen over your years with what you've learned and the power of implementing it into your life.
Yeah, definitely. As you said, like you can get so much knowledge, right? You can learn uh, everything as much as you can and hold it all inside you, right? Your brain can be filled with all this amazing knowledge, all the cool things you've learned, tricks you've taught yourself or learned through your experiences or whatever it is. But it doesn't I won't say it doesn't do you a lick of good, but it doesn't really help you and help others as much until you put it into practice. So you have to step outside your comfort zone and really put that knowledge to use, to power. It's kind of funny actually. I was had a roundtable discussion last night with the Jones and Ford tribe members, and a couple of them we were chatting about using your unique talent to help others. And someone was saying, well, I don't know what I have. Like I have all this knowledge, or they weren't even sure about their like what their talent was. But then, I shared with them, oh, but you're good at this. You have this knowledge base. Oh, you learned this before. You work in this field and you know so much about that. And why not? And you love it. So why not share it out? But they weren't sure even how to share. And I think that's a stumbling block for many people is maybe you don't, first of all, you don't realize that you have this knowledge, or you do realize, oh my gosh, I've amassed all this cool stuff, right? I mean, I know about a morning routine. I know the importance of working out, or I know the importance of, I know for me as a musician, I know all these cool little music geeky things and stuff, but how can I share that out with people? And so then it's trying different things, asking people and seeing what people come to you for, what questions they ask you to to help them with, so then you can offer your knowledge to help them, and then step outside to and do it more. Put that knowledge to use, and even more so. Let's make it personal for a quick second. Let's say you know the importance of a morning routine. You know the importance of getting up, doing like for me, I do my priorities of practice, my Jaggers. I got my four things I do in the morning. Boom, 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 boom. I know the importance of it.
Mhm.
Let's say I know that, but I don't implement it. Well, there's that fall through, right? That a lot of people struggle with. You need to take that leap of faith, and become the CEO of your life and say, nope, this isn't a question. I need to, this is a priority to me, and then make that happen, right? So then you say, nope, it's a priority. I'm going to do this morning routine. So whatever it is, let's say you know the importance of doing it, you're just slacking, step it up, get outside your comfort zone, become the CEO, and make that a priority to you. So you make that happen. Does that kind of help a little bit, Mike?
Yeah, and that's one of the things that I've learned through my life is whenever we're trying to learn something new, we're trying to step into somebody that we haven't become yet.
Mm-hmm.
We have to take these steps outside of our comfort zone. For me, when it comes to leadership, we all start at square one. But at the end of the day, we're all leaders. We're all leaders right now because we're always inspiring somebody through our message. And that's the belief that we have to have in our heads right now. With this Spartan Ultra, this 30-mile Spartan Ultra run that hopefully I'm going to run soon. Well, we'll see about this quarantine. But I already bought the shirt because I'm stepping into that identity right now. Because if you don't step into that identity of becoming an athlete, or if you don't step into the identity of an athlete, of a successful business owner, of a successful parent, you're always going to operate out of the old identity. And the problem that a lot of us have is we're focusing on the big picture. Like, it's important to have the big picture of where we want to take our lives. I always talk about the North Star vision. Just like following a North Star, you have to have that visual of what you want your life to look like, what you want what kind of values you want to live your life by. And then so many of us get stuck in the big details, but really we just need to step back, and we do need to do less of this personal development, because I was guilty of this, where it was difficult for me to get out of my comfort zone. So as a way of distracting myself, and I did this subconsciously, I'm like, all right, let's go on YouTube. Let's look up some motivational videos. Let's go on some podcasts, and let's learn more about leadership. Let's learn more about whatever area I'm struggling with. And this distracts me because it's more comfortable doing this rather than putting in the work, because I was linking more pleasure to watching the videos and getting motivated rather than putting in the work. And there's a famous quote, I think it's Martin Luther King. He said, you don't need to see the whole staircase in order to take the first step. And so many of us, that's the thing we need to do, because I see some of my challengers, I give them these insights. I give them this advice to really help them out with getting over the struggle. And they're like, oh, that sounds awesome. Like, you're so motivational. I'm going to do that. And then 2 months later, a year down the road, nothing has changed. Like, we got to change how we feel about getting out of our comfort zone. If we don't do that, we're always going to go back to what's familiar with us, which is getting motivated but not taking action. Because at the end of the day, we get pleasure from getting motivated. We get that dopamine release. We start to feel good, but it's just the pre-workout. Like this right here, like getting motivated is just the pre-workout. You have to put in the workout after you get motivated. And that's what they were talking about on this call that I was on yesterday with Jesse Itzler. He was talking about how so many of us during this time, we're trying to do huge things with this quarantine. We're trying to build this huge business. We're trying to build this amazing body. We're trying to show up amazing in our relationships because we want to come out of this so much stronger. But what we really need to do with all this craziness going on in the world, choose 3 things that you can move forward on every single day, 3 different buckets. So if you're struggling with finances, if you're struggling with fitness, if you're struggling with business, if you're struggling with faith, spirituality, personal growth, find 3 buckets and do at least one thing every day, and put those check marks off on that calendar. Because when you see that check mark, when you keep it going throughout the whole day or throughout the whole week, it's going to motivate you to continue. So that's the one thing we have to like really shift our focus on, is getting away from the big picture and not getting stuck by analysis paralysis, and just taking that first step.
When you first started sharing, it made me think of a podcast that I love listening to. I listen to Pat Flynn. I'm a huge Pat Flynn fan. I listen to the Smart Passive Income podcast, and I love it. And one of the things he says often enough on there, because people write in and said, "Oh, Pat, I love your show, and I've listened to, and he has over 400 shows now or something like that." They're like, "Oh, I've listened to every single one of your episodes. Like, oh, I just started listening and I downloaded. I'm going to start from one and go all the way through." And he's like, "No. Don't do that. You're just getting overloaded with all this cool knowledge and stuff." He's like, "I appreciate it. I love the fact that you're there and that you're supporting it. But instead of listening to all of them, pick out the couple that pertain to you specifically, and to what bucket you want to fill, right? To what goals you want to go after, and then listen to those. And instead of just becoming an informational junkie with it, then pick the ones that are going to help you, that fit you, and then take action. It's the taking action. So you learn from it and then you take action. Because as you said, right, we love motivation. We can become a motivation junkie. We can become a self-development and self-improvement junkie, that we can get all the knowledge from it, but it's not really helping us because we're not taking action on what we learn. And I mean, I know from myself, like I have about 3 to 4 podcasts that I listen to regularly, and not all of them pertain to me, but some of them give me an idea, like, oh, that'd be cool to do later on, or some like, oh, that's a really cool idea. But do I take the initiative? Do I take the action on all of them? No. Maybe I should, and maybe I shouldn't, just because of where I'm at. But the ones that really do resonate with me, that speak with me, those are the ones that I go, I'm taking action right away, and I sit down and I do it. Same thing with books, right? The books you read, supplemental books, you can get the knowledge and you should learn, you should continue to grow, but you have to take action with the things that resonate with you, right? Take that knowledge. Don't just become that junkie. Take action. And that just made me think about what you're saying. And then I love the bucket analogy. Find the 3 buckets you want to fill in your day, in your life. You have your big picture, and for me, I break down the big picture into smaller benchmarks and into daily tasks, right, that help me reach that goal. And that helps me. I know what those buckets are for those goals, and each day I get to put a check mark. Did I do this activity? Did I do this task? Check. And as you said, it motivates you. Once you see, oh my gosh, I had 2 days in a row, 3 days in a row, 4 days. Oh, cool, I got this. Oh, I missed a day. Hey, that's okay. I got this good streak, but I'm going right back to it the next day. And overall, you're seeing that consistency, and that is going to help motivate you and inspire to keep you going. But again, motivation is great, but it doesn't do you like good if you don't do the action that follows that you need to. Like you said, it's your pre-workout. You need to actually do the workout, not just enjoy the pre-workout jitters and have fun with it.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it comes down to, is like you're saying, like being really intentional, what you put your focus on, what you need to improve on. One of my challengers just posted on her wall yesterday saying, I'm on the 3rd day of this workout program, but I wasn't able to finish the last 5 minutes of the ab workout. And I sent her a message telling her that I'm proud of her. I'm proud of her progress and everything. And I just said, I want to challenge you to change the things that you're saying. Rather than saying I'm struggling, rather than saying that I didn't finish the 5 minutes, I want to challenge you to say I'm proud of myself and really own that you got the workout done. because when you shift your mindset, you focus on being proud of yourself rather than the things that you didn't go the way you wanted them to go. And so often we're so unconscious of the way we're talking to ourselves. And this is what we need to like really step back and look at ourselves. And first thing they say is you have to admit that you have a problem. And it's not about like beating yourself up over the problem. It's being conscious of where you need to improve on in your life. And for me, for the longest time, I'm really into fitness. Like fitness is my strong category. And what I found that I do, instead of working on my weaknesses, I would hit it harder with my workouts. I would go harder with my strengths, and it kind of distracted me to not put in the work on my weaknesses. So one of the first things we did in this 20-day Rise Up challenge that we're a part of is we rated from a scale from 1 to 10 where we rank ourselves in certain categories in our lives. So like fitness, health and fitness, personal growth, faith and spirit, mindset, business, and then we rated ourselves. And the thing is, you got to be honest with yourself. And then it's all about working on those weaknesses and like attaching more pleasure to overcoming those challenges rather than focusing on the discomfort in front of the challenges. And that's like what it comes down to, is just like just chipping away at it every single day. And 1% better, you may not think it's going to add to huge results over time, but consistency is so much more important than perfection, because we can all like show up one day for, I see some people, especially people that just start out, they want to hit their goals right now. Like we have we live in an instant,
gratification,
instant world. The microwave mentality. We put in our popcorn and we want it done in 4 minutes. But what we do is we try and hit these big goals, and we focus on intensity over consistency. Like we can all show up every once in a while for an hour, 2-hour long workout, but the key is putting in the work consistently in order to get the results. And so many people, they struggle with not being confident in themselves. And the key is to shift away from being motivated, being confident, or any of these kind of emotions that get you started. Shift away from that mindset and focus on taking action first. Because when you get in this mindset, regardless of how you feel, and you focus on taking action, you focus on that North Star, you focus on that long-term vision rather than the instant gratification, the short-term mindset. You find that you start building confidence over time. So like if it's a new business idea, if you don't know where to start, just start. Take that first step. And then as you go, you're going to meet new mentors. You're going to gain more knowledge. Yes, you're going to fail. You're going to fail a lot of times, but you get back up and you figure it out as you go. But you're not going to get to where you want to be without taking action.
I want to jump in and talk real quick about what you mentioned in the first part when you started chatting that, and that is the story you're telling yourself. And this is a topic that I really think, Mike, you and I should discuss on maybe the next episode of the CEO Your Life show that we have. And that is the story you're telling yourself, because you have to watch the words you're saying about yourself, right? How are you empowering yourself? And you mentioned earlier that you bought a t-shirt or bought a shirt for the Spartan Ultra that you're doing, right? To help get you in that mindset, to help you step into that person that you are. Well, your words do the same thing, right? The words you use, the story you're telling yourself of where you are, what you're doing, what you're achieving, affects how your mind accepts and moves towards that. It's either going to keep you stagnant, it's going to make it move farther back, or it's going to allow you to step forward into it. So be careful of that story. And I said, this is a whole topic we can chat about. And I really think we should chat about it in another episode because it's so important for people. But just really watch those words that you're saying so that you can really progress. You're not holding yourself back through your story, through the words you are saying. So just make sure that it's powerful words that allow you to step forward and, take the action. Get outside your comfort zone. Take the action. Don't become the junkie. Don't just let your knowledge be knowledge and stay in your head. Share it out with people. Take advantage of it yourself. Do whatever you need to do to implement that knowledge. And sometimes that implement of knowledge is not implementing it, right? You realize, oh, I shouldn't do this because I learned this. That's cool too, right? But you're implementing the knowledge that you have. Mike, I hate to say it, looks like we're running short on time here. I'll wrap up my portion of it just by saying, folks, you have knowledge and you're gaining so much, but don't become an information junkie. Don't become a knowledge junkie. Get the knowledge, learn from it, and learn from your past, learn from all these stuff, have the knowledge, but then implement it. Take the action. Knowledge is not power. Knowledge is knowledge, but the action of it is powerful, right? It's the potential for your power. So take the action, let that knowledge be helpful as you take the action and step into your power as well. So that's what I have for you folks today. Mike, I'll leave it up to you.
So a couple action steps I want to leave you guys with. I probably should have said this at the beginning. Whenever you're doing some kind of personal development, when you're around like a mentor that's helping you grow in life, make sure you're writing down notes and make sure at the end of the call or the book that you're reading, write down your biggest takeaways. Because so often what we do, I was guilty of it. I would go to these conferences, these 3-day conferences, wherever there's so much energy and you feel good because it's the dopamine release. And then you come home and you have all these insights and you don't know how to implement them into your life. And there's been many times where I go to these conference events and then I come home with, listening to all these, 7-figure earners, all these people that are super healthy and super happy and super successful in life. And then my life doesn't move at all. So one thing that I've really focused on is really getting those insights, getting those aha moments, because these people, you got to think of it this way. They spent years of failing, of struggling, from learning from other people that have also failed and struggled, for the insights that they've learned. So one thing that I really recommend is writing down the insights and taking some time to really process it after you get these aha moments, and make it a habit of within 24 hours implementing 1 or 2 things that you learn. Because so often we focus on trying to implement everything, and then we're like, all right, where do I even start? And then analysis paralysis happens, and then 6 years down the road, we're like, why didn't I implement that? I learned so much, and I didn't move in this area. So that's why you have to really be intentional with your time, like 3 different buckets with one thing. So for me, it's my finances right now. For me, it's my business. And then I'm really focusing on, strengthening my faith and really questioning what I believe in right now. And then you keep doing that 15 minutes a day. That's what I do every single morning. Rather than reading an hour of personal development, 15 minutes where I'm intentional with what I'm learning, highlight, and then write down my takeaways.
Nice.
You do that over time and you implement something within 24 hours. You look back in your life and you're in a completely different spot. It's been amazing how much my life has changed just from what I've learned from my mentors and just being the hero in my life and not letting fear win, being courageous and taking action and focusing on all the things that are more important than my fear. Because at the end of the day, there's nothing worse than feeling a regret at the end of your life, knowing that you had a chance to take action and you didn't take it.
I love that last little bit. I mean, I love everything. Everything was awesome, but I think a great little way to leave it is be the hero in your life, right? You're the person. You could be the the person in distress or the hero. Instead of being the person in distress, be the hero of your life. Make that choice. Do what it takes to be that hero. And thank you so much for those action steps. That's awesome. I really appreciate it. And folks, remember that if you're struggling with anything, know that Mike and I are here to help you, right? Reach out to us, message us, email us, whatever. Like, we're happy to chat and help you through your struggles. So always feel free to reach out. We're both really friendly. We're always here, happy to help. And if you like this show, if you like the CEO of Your Life show, let us know, but also share it out. I let this show help other people, right? It's available on YouTube and Facebook. Just share it out, tell people about it, and let's help even more people become the CEO of their life. So until next time, folks, I'm Spencer Jones. It's been awesome chatting with you today. Mike, thank you for joining us today and doing this. And I can't wait till next week till we can help you with another show.
Thank you, Spencer.
All right,
Have
folks.
a good one, guys.
Have a good one and be the CEO of your life.